Welcome to Meaningful Morning. What precedes inspiration? What precedes inspiration is relation. Those we have a relationship with, from them we extract inspiration. Whatever we can't relate to, we're not inspired by that. If you don't have a propensity to be an athlete, you're not inspired by them. If you don't have a propensity to be an actress, you're not inspired by them. If someone is much older than you, much younger than you, you're not inspired by them. Inspiration is preceded by relation. And relationship building takes time. Think of the acquaintances in your life who have become friends, who have become more than friends. I am supposing you have directed more time to these relationships. For us, today we are in morning 1007 into our Bhagavad Gita. Tomorrow we'll celebrate 1008 mornings into the Bhagavad Gita. We have invested a great deal of time into our relation. And what comes with that? Inspiration. I'm in Toronto right now as I'm sharing thoughts on Bhagavad Gita's chapter 18. In the background, you may see some critters. It was like product placement. You may hear Paw Patrol. And so I was thinking to myself, as I was looking at all of you, it would be so fun if there was like a blooper reel for Meaningful Mornings and all of the different backgrounds were shown. And the reason I'm sharing that is because you can relate to this, correct? Being in a hotel and you have a meeting or you're teaching and so on. In Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2, as Sri Krishna is sharing with Prince Arjuna ways to stabilize his emotions, he had shared in verse 45, Nitya Sattva Staha. Nitya means comprehensively. Staha, be established in Sattva, quietness. Now fast forward to chapter 18. In verse 10, Shri Krishna is describing the one who has followed Shri Krishna from chapter 2 to 18. But not just followed in a passive way, that they know how to chant this, they've memorized this and so on, but they have followed through with living to establish themselves in quietness comprehensively. In the first line of verse 10, the one who is quiet, they're more inward looking. Do you agree? When you are quiet in mind, you don't want to use your senses as much. Yes, everyone? Do you all agree? If it's the other way around, then that's not quietude of mind. So if I'm quiet, I become more inward looking, and becoming more inward looking is the same as becoming more independent. I'm still depending, but I'm depending on my inner world. Beyond that, the spirit. And that's why one who's independent is not concerned about unpleasant, pleasant, likes, dislikes. For us in our regular affairs, it is to not be concerned about compliments and criticism. If if you're following through from chapter 2 to now chapter 18, you should be less concerned about compliments and criticism. How many of you feel you have changed in this way? You are less concerned? Great. Makes me really happy to see your hands. And this relates to the application you were given about rating your own strength. 1, you are highly dependent. 10, you are highly independent. The independent person is more able and available to support others who are dependent. Now you think of caregiving. You have to care for so many. You are responsible for so many. To do this in a comprehensive way, you have to start by becoming more independent. But if you yourself are not independent, how can you really care for another? In the second line, Shri Krishna's bringing up matters like, this person is samavishta. There's no facet of them that doesn't touch sattva, medhavi. And they remember this. Not just when nobody's awake, not just in meaningful mornings, not just in a controlled environment. They remember, and because they remember, they live in a different way than everyone else. Some of the examples of this that I had shared was, they are responsive, not reactive, they're responsive, so they're able to observe their vasanas, vices more. They're able to catch themselves that I'm becoming impatient now, or I'm being judgmental. They can observe this. They're able to name it. This is what's happening in this way. And because they're observing this, they're able to not own it and be owned by it. Is this clear to everyone? Please put your hand up if this is clear. If I were physically unwell and I went to the hospital, there's lots of hospitals in Toronto, and they're able to identify what's wrong with me, they can give me a medicine. But if they can't identify what's wrong with me, then what are they supposed to do? IV, penicillin, but it's not zoomed into what's actually wrong with me, correct? One more insight into this second line is, the one who's responsive, they're quiet, they remember, they're more objective. And I'd given a technique on reassociation. Presently, without training, we have a habit to look forward to summer, look forward to vacations, look forward to results. I hate Mondays and I love Fridays because on Fridays I don't have to go to work. See, this is such a results-oriented vision and lifestyle. But if we can reassociate, I look forward to my responsibilities, not to results. And you have to find the way to make that reassociation because all of us are different. Here's a reassociation that I try to practice in terms of responsibilities and results. Actions, or let me change the word, responsibilities are for the creator and results are for creation. So when I go about living and I'm tending to my responsibilities, why am I doing it? I'm doing it for the creator. The results that come with that, who are those for? Creation. Does that make sense? If that's too abstract, your responsibilities are for you. The results are for the world. Through your responsibilities, find fulfillment. And then all of the results that come from your responsibilities, those are for the world. Shri Krishna is now bringing up more of a technical thought in verse 11. Here is why this verse comes in. There are many teachings in the Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, etc., when taken literally means you should surrender your responsibilities or actions, which means one should not act. One shouldn't wake up, one shouldn't eat, one shouldn't interact, one shouldn't be productive. And the reason why that statement is made or this teaching is shared, to cut out acting for fulfillment rather than out of fulfillment. As long as you act for fulfillment, you will get stuck. Acting for fulfillment is really acting for results. You're going to get stuck. Karma bandha, samsara. Those kinds of notions are stated. So then the way not to get stuck is don't act. That's highly impractical and impossible. That's why this verse is shared, to cut out such notions. But all of you, I know you don't think like that. Verse 11. Nahi deha bhrita shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshataha yastu karma phalatyagi satyagi ityebhadi vidhiyate. First quarter, really the first line. Na means no. He indeed. Deha brit, anyone who feels they have a body. That means us. Shakya, possible. For the one who has a body, it is impossible. What is impossible? Tyaktum, to renounce. Karma, asheshataha, to renounce actions completely. Okay, everyone? That's the definition of the first line. And I've already stated the reflection on this. You cannot renounce all of your actions. Adding more here. In the earlier framework, I had shared how to freeze with our responsibilities is not right. To flight from our responsibilities is not right. We have to fight, as in engage our responsibilities. Have to. And Puja Swami Chinmayananda writes this so beautifully. Since all of us are embodied and therefore cannot abandon all activities as long as we live, the only choice left to us is to direct and discipline all our actions in such a way as to bring a harmony into our inner life and a dynamic rhythm into our outer duties. How many of you are completely clear about what's being shared right now? I've pre-briefed it. Shri Krishna stated, Puja Swami Chinmayananda has debriefed on this. Then what is our strategy, though? Not to engage in our responsibilities for results. How do we act without bandha, samsara? Tu, in contrast, yaha, that is you, karma phala tyagi. The results that come in your life, you have renounced these. These belong to creation. These belong to the world. Satyagi, such a person is a renouncer. Abhidhiyate, they are a renouncer, one who has renounced all of their actions. And this last line is trying to share with us, renouncing actions is not physical, it is mental. It is not about your implementation, it is about your intention. So if you are renouncing your results, it is the same as you renouncing your responsibilities, but not, again, not out of fulfillment, but you're renouncing the notion of doing this for fulfillment. One final thought is, Shri Krishna is trying to impress upon us that this cannot be done by force, which means this is not a ritual. This can only be done by faith, which means this will happen naturally. This is the final chapter, and Shri Krishna is not leaving any room for doubt. That's why he's taking a single thought and really looking at it from 360 degrees, because afterwards we just have to live this. After this Bhagavad Gita, Prince Arjuna asks Shri Krishna to teach him again. And Shri Krishna shares, I can't. That was a mystical space, time, and energy, so I can't do it. Imagine the infinite saying, I can't do it. And so after this Bhagavad Gita, all that's shared is Alpa Gita. It is like a Cole's notes on this Bhagavad Gita. It's an executive summary. So Shri Krishna loves us so much, and that's why he's being so clear. From inspiration to application. Your application was to listen to Tom Petty's The Last DJ. How many of you did? This is a really good song. It's about someone who's practicing viraga. Viraga means one is acting not by likes and acting not for likes. See, our understanding of viraga is I don't act by likes, but what this song brings out is you don't act for likes. The last DJ doesn't act to be liked. He's just a DJ. This is his responsibility. Your application for this morning, 3 days from today, that is Monday, April 1st, we will formally commence our effort for awe, that is air, water, and earth, for air, that is to plant, for us, that is yajna, for water, it is to donate, for us, that's dana, and for earth, it is to invest or collect, litter specifically, invest in collecting litter, not invest in litter, invest in collecting litter, and for us, that is tapa. And so your application is to register for this effort for awe. Why? Number one, I've asked you to do it. Number two is you're learning about this. And number three, we all have the same universal mother. You look after her, you're looking after everybody. Shanti, 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 be joy.